need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Third floor, room 315 if anyone wants to party.
Yeah, come on up. It's gonna be posted after, but
yeah,
come on.
That's why I doxed this. Hotel Indigo. So far, a very, very nice day.
Oh, yeah.
Spring, Texas. Definitely will return here. I think it's, here's the practice finisher, right?
You finish right there. Damn. That's how you're planning on finishing right there?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I'm gonna be dead. Alright guys, following a little Texas Roadhouse along with the purchase of a Chuck Norris water and a Bang energy drink and some snacks for the morning. We're walking around looking for a hot tub and found the gym. So naturally I had to knock out about a 20-minute workout. Nothing crazy, nothing super hard. Just something to get blood flowing and be a little gassed. So this is where I'm comfortable. This is where it started, this is what it's going to take tomorrow, and this is where it'll end. So I figured I might as well go ahead and push a little bit more on the thing that's the reason why I'm here. So, you know, most people may not prep for a race like this, but it's where my head gets clear. It's where I can relax and kind of let all that go. So I feel like getting a quick pump was well worth it. Even if it comes to a little soreness, you know, it's just the price you gotta pay to be able to exist here. So, gonna go to bed, clean up, get ready for tomorrow, and what do you think about get out there around 5:30?
Yeah, 5:30 sounds good, man.
So we're gonna be out there early, gotta get up early, so it means it's already 8:46, probably should go ahead and go to bed here in the next 15 minutes or so, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna be out there, gonna be competing in the Ironman Texas 2023 Herman Memorial full distance Ironman race. 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile long bike ride, and 26.2 mile run. I've done the run, I've done close to the swim, done half of the biking, but I've never done all three back to back. So it is going to be an experience. It will be hard, I'm sure, without a doubt, but it'll be good. Because through hard things you get the progress, and through progress you can become better than yesterday. And back to the original, the OG Bang Delicious Strawberry Kiss. I remember when they first released this. It was delicious, I was excited. But this was one of the first new flavors in their white cans, because before they had the black and silver and all the things. Way back. OG Bang.
Only OG Bang drinkers will know. I think this is top of the line for beds before an Ironman. Like, this is their.
You can't ask for much more than this. This is a solid bed.
Yeah, you know.
Shower's nice. This thing right here is nice. Whatever this is.
Whatever that is, it's got a mirror in it.
We're in here. Like,
we're sleeping and then we're in.
We're 8 hours out, dude. We're about to have to get up at 4:30, something like that. 4:30, 4 o'clock, and we're gonna be out there, and it will be might be the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Doubt it though. I am an ultra athlete. If you didn't know, I got it. I got the tag
on that. Yeah, buddy.
DJ told me he was gonna get on one of those at Vegas. I was like, ha ha ha, funny joke, but please don't. Like,
this will be the last bed that you sleep in while you are a non-Ironman athlete. While you are a non-triathlete.
By this time tomorrow, I will be somewhere in the run.
Yeah.
I might be done with the run by now.
Yeah, you'd be on the tail end of it.
I will be done with the run by this time tomorrow. Whoa. Or in the last couple miles.
Yeah. You'll be on the tail end or you'll be finished, man.
And be an Ironman. I believe in it. I really do. It's real. It's here. I know it's probably gonna suck, but we can do it.
Yeah.
That's it. If you believe you can, that's more than half the battle.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Time to go to bed.
There we go. It is 5:08 in the morning. We are up and at 'em.
We're going to be out there. Took a cold shower first thing. We're about to roll out right now. And that's going to be it. I haven't really got much this morning. It's time to go to work. It's time to do the thing. Talked about it a lot. Trained for it a lot. Not a lot, actually. Trained for it. So, but have done a lot of other training in preparation of something like this. And that's here. So now it's time to go take it down.
There you go.
Alright, so very, very first, get there, park at a church, and start walking the race.
Getting all the camera equipment and everything ready and all my stuff for the day. Open the door and I look back in and he's kind of sitting there, kind of staring off into nothingness. And I think at that moment when we pulled in and we parked the truck is when it was like, I'm going to be out here for 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. Not that it was going to be impossible for him to do, but it was like, well, here we go. We're getting all this stuff and we start walking and we're getting there. We're starting to hear the cheers and a big old crowd's walking with us. And we get into the place. It's a lot of people. There's a ton of people there. I'm seeing people getting strapped up and ready to go.
Feel good, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm just ready for it to start. I don't want to keep waiting around, not knowing, I'd rather be in it, be attacking it, and start working towards that goal. Get there, it's packed. There's over 2,000 people, I think it was 2,400 something people signed up for this race, so there's a lot of people there, and people everywhere.
Goes into the line and I'm like, this might be the last time I'll see him for the next couple hours after he gets the swim done. Catch him sometimes throughout the bike, sometimes throughout the run.
Before long, we're starting to line up by our length of time for the swim and everything, and it's happening. So the line itself, it took us a while to move because I was 3/4 of the way back. I was running 140 to 150, or hour 40, hour 50 for the total swim was my pace group.
I have the tracker on my phone to track that. Chips. I'll track his chip throughout the race for the swim, bike, and run. And I see the notification go off. Braxton started the race.
We're in there. Start off. A lot of people at the very beginning, but pretty quick it thinned out. Wasn't super bad. I was kind of worried about, I always heard you get kicked or whatever. People touching you, grabbing you, just not on purpose, just you're in the water that close. Not bad. We spread out pretty quick. I did more than other people. We'll go more on that further down the story, but.
And he's chugging along. He's out there. He's keeping a good pace. Because following him. It'll give me all the specs on his run or his swim and stuff like that.
Had my goggles on, but pretty quickly I ditched those and just put them inside my dry suit because just they're fogging. I just want to be able to see whenever I go up by the water. I'm not used to them. I don't like them, and the water wouldn't necessarily hurt my eyes. So I was just like, you know, I don't want anything bothering me, right? I want to be comfortable, but overall, like, the water was not cold. It was pretty warm. Felt good. I mean, getting after it. I was holding about a 220 pace, which is what I practiced at, what I trained at, and what I had done the 2.3 mile swim previously at the whole time. Like, I was like, okay.
So he's about 45 minutes into the race. He's probably a little bit more than halfway. He should be coming up over here shortly. You know, I think he's killing it. I'm keeping track of him. He's smoking it. I feel like he's doing pretty good. I mean, I feel like the last leg is probably going to be the hardest part. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Make the roundabout in the middle of the water was one loop before we go down the canal, and I was around a mile at that point already, and I was holding pace. So I was feeling great because I hit a mile at like 39 minutes or something, and I felt great. I was like, I'm not super gassed. I'm just doing good. My legs were cramping pretty bad on that first mile, but I just kind of kept kicking through it and stretching out as much as I can. It's like, just gotta keep moving. I mean, if they cramp, they cramp, but I can still kick it. It just hurts. But I kept going, and then start making my way around the bend towards the canal that we gotta go off into to the transition area.
You know, while it goes by, I set up at the next place that I'm able to see him and talk to him. And because there's a while where it's just the middle of the lake and I can't see him, so I go set up my camera, my chair, and I'm waiting there. And so he's going, he's swimming, he's out there hauling butt, and I'm waiting at my spot, and he's either veering off the path or he gets something slows him down.
I was probably somewhere around a mile and a half or so when I was starting to piece together, like, I'm gonna make it. Like, I've got plenty of time. I was doing the math in my head. I'm like, I should finish with probably 30 minutes extra if I just hold this pace, which is a very conservative pace. 2 minutes and 20 seconds per 100 yards. Ended up getting up to around 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but still very conservative, not super going all out, but it's something I could hold, and it's something I practiced at before, and it's like I knew I could keep doing it. So I was making my way, and towards the mouth of this canal that you had to go down, I hit 4,000 yards. I was stoked because I'm like, oh shoot, it must be right around this bend because I'm already at like 2.2 miles.
And he's got that orange tri-suit on. He has the green swim cap over him. And I'm waiting with his dad off to the side of me and off in the distance. So I was kind of on the last leg of the swim. He would go down this canal and he would be there. He would be finished. And I see his green, off in the distance, I see his green helmet on and his orange tri-suit poking out the water, swimming. Getting closer, and it's close enough for me to realize that he can hear me. And so, you know, I'm like, let's go, Brack, like, pick it up, man, come on. Like, you got to get there, because I don't know if he realizes he has the Garmin on, so he can kind of keep track of what he's doing. And, you know, I'm yelling at him. I'm like, come on, man, you got to pick it up, all that stuff. I was like, let's go. You know, like, come on,
hey, come on, man, let's go. There you go, Brack.
So I'm cheering for him, and off in the distance, he saw his head poke up. And I just see him hold his arm up out of the water and flex. And he's getting closer to me. Now I'm able to talk to him. And I'm like, look, man, you got to go. Dad's cheering him on. I'm cheering him on. I'm like, man, you got to pick it up. I'm like, you're a little bit behind, man. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm doing great. And it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's gonna be some error between, what my GPS says and what, where I'm supposed to be at. And I keep going, and before long, I can't even see the end of it. I'm just in this canal. There's a lot of people, but still quite a few ways around this bend. By the time I'm in the mouth of the canal, I'm over what is, at my head, I was thinking was around 2.4 miles. I'm like, that's kind of weird, but whatever. Just keep on going. And I keep going. And before long, I'm in the last stretch of this canal, and I'm like, I'm right here, but I felt like I wouldn't make any progress. Because at that point, I was going up the current, like against the current. And, but it was so close at the same time. Like, I am literally on the last stretch, but it's, the time is cutting it very close as I'm getting further and further down this canal.
And I'm keeping an eye on time. I'm like, he's a little bit behind, And I can tell down that canal, that final stretch, it was maybe probably a little bit under half a mile left. And he's chugging along and starts slowing down, and I can tell he's getting tired. He doesn't like positive reinforcement. He's not like hey, you got this, buddy, let's go. He's more of you need to get your butt, keep scooting along, let's go. He's on the final stretch, and I'm like, you gotta go, man, like, I believed in him. And I was like, I know he can do this. Let's go. He was cutting it close, but I know he could do it.
I had a guy there with me the whole time, pretty much after I made the first bend, and he's, talking to me, pushing me along. At that point, I could see Brent and my dad, my mom, they're all out there cheering me on, and the environment was awesome, and I was feeling good still, but I was getting pretty gassed. Like, I was putting out at that point with pretty much everything I had that I could keep going with.
Minutes go by, whatever, and we hear 10 minutes, 10 minutes left till the cutoff. And he's gassed. He's flying best he can. He's right there. He's so close. He's so close. And I'm like, you got this last leg. Let's go, man. And he can see it. He can see the finish line. He can see where you turn in and finish.
And I'm cruising, and they're starting to talk. Hey, look, you got, towards the mouth of the canal, like, hey, 20 minutes. It's like, okay, I should be, like, right there at that point. I was still thinking. Around the 10-minute mark, I'm like, I can't even see the end, and, like, I don't know what's happening here. Because the GPS says I'm way over, and I'm gassed. I'd done this distance before. It wasn't this bad. I've held the same pace. Like, I don't know where the disconnect is, but something ain't working out for me. And I keep going. There's people everywhere. Like I said, environment's awesome. And I'm about to make it to the end. And I do. Like, I finished the full race. And the first thing I get told when I get out is, you didn't make the time cutoff.
I'm checking my watch, and I'm like, I think that's cut off. I think the cutoff just happened.
And at that point, I was kind of expecting it after, like, hearing 5 minutes left, and I'm like, yeah, it's been a couple more than 5 minutes.
And it sucks. It sucks seeing that. He was legitimately so dang close to that finish line.
And but as soon as I got out the water, world's kind of shaking for me and moving. Take a second, and then start to get my bearings. But they made it clear it was like I was 6 minutes past the cutoff. It was 2 hours and 26 minutes was when I made it through. And you can't go on to make up the time later in the race. You can't go on now. Even if I did it really fast in the next one, it don't matter. With my crew at that point and trying to just figure out what happened. And so I look at my watch and I had done 3.48 miles. And I was like, that can't be right. Because if that's the case, I did a little over a mile of what I was supposed to do. I didn't finish the time. Can't go on. Even if I were to make up the rest of the time, it don't matter.
How long was the walk?
I think 6 minutes.
And it is heartbreaking seeing that. It is heartbreaking seeing someone put in that much work, getting out there at 4 a.m. Like we're waking up at 4 a.m. that morning, getting out there at 5:30. And it's heartbreaking seeing him just so distraught. Just sucks. It's annoying.
Not quite. We're close.
Good job, good job. That's the arm, just butter.
Yeah. I feel weak.
Good job.
Yeah. So I had a 2:24 pace, which should have finished me in time, but that ain't
Getting side to side. Hard to tell.
I guess that's my problem, because that's the same pace I practiced with, which made me think I would finish.
Yeah.
But because I should have finished 30 minutes, 40 minutes early at that pace right there. Well, I was 50 yards off one time. I was like, you guys swim all the way over there.
Yeah, that's killing you.
Just it's annoying that they don't let you make it up and the rest of it. I thought it was.
I'll figure when you're this close, you think they'd say, come on through. Was it
Wasn't
terrible
bad.
at first or not bad?
Wasn't bad.
I thought you finished strong.
You called it.
If you could have found something right at the mouth, that probably would have got you through here. But because you were coming through here pretty strong. You about ran over Brenton when he got in.
Yeah, man.
I was like, dang.
I wanted to join with you with
Don't
the
run
camera
over
and
your buddy,
everything,
man.
but
Main thing is.
I mean, obviously you're tired, but
the water's sucking up your nose the whole time.
that's why he was keeping his head up, because we're looking and you just had your head up, like
yeah.
trying to keep it out, and I was like, man, he's got to get in there.
I would have thought that you can make it up. 6 minutes.
That ain't that bad. 6 minutes.
Yeah, but
you know, like I was telling them, sometimes you just got to do one of these just to know what you don't know, you know?
yeah.
You didn't know anything. You didn't know. You can go swim all you want, but you get in here, you don't know what to expect. Now you know.
I feel like I could go do the rest of it. I mean, it ain't.
Well, that's the thing. If you could have just snaked through here, you know, you got it.
But as I said, I thought maybe they'd let you finish it, just not.
I would have thought it's a total time, you know, not.
Did they tell
unless
you when
they
you were coming
were-
out of the water? Or?
Mhm.
But you know, some of those, when I was walking back, I had to go back here to get out. And they were actually tapping those on the shoulder and say, hey, I got to get you in the boat. I got to get you out of the water.
So my Garmin says that I went 209 per 500 yards. 209, 208, 211, 215, 230, 227, 224, 233, 231, 227, 222, 227, and 349 for the last 132 yards. Say this says it's a mile off. Say it's a half mile, quarter mile, whatever it is. I mean that. But in my training, at 220 should have made me finish around an hour and 40 minutes. I should have had 30 minutes cushion, you know, conservatively. And I finished 6 minutes over. And this says I did an extra mile, and that's about how long it takes to do an extra mile. I'm looking at my route, and you can see on the route, it's just kind of zigzagging the whole way. And there was a couple points where I was pretty far off track. They're like, okay, you got to go all the way around that buoy. I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, just keep swimming.
So he was getting veered off of the path of the swim just barely, at some points throughout the race, which killed time and added distance.
Looking at that route versus looking at what the course map is, and I'm pretty far off my target. And so what I think ultimately ended up happening was, it wasn't that I didn't put out, it wasn't that I didn't technically make the time for the 2.4 miles, it was that I didn't make the time on the course. I mean, it ain't a straight line.
Is that your Garmin?
Yeah.
What about coming into that canal?
Here's where he made me go over.
Oh, yeah. And see, that's way to the other side of that canal and then back. So you took the long route there.
Definitely at a, I mean, I don't know that it is a whole extra mile. It may be, it may not be.
But even if it's a quarter mile.
Quarter mile, half mile, whatever it is. I mean, that makes more sense than anything, but.
Still have a lot to go.
Uh-huh. And that's why the canal kept going.
Okay, so that was a nice training swim. You went 3 miles.
Problem is how do you even fix that? You know, how do you even know?
There's no one's fault but mine, you know, in a way. 'Cause it's like, I should have stayed straighter, but you don't know what you don't know.
You know? What are you looking for out there?
Where's the, you know,
Where's
the buoys or whatever it is? Because I'm just swimming where they tell me to. And if I end up a mile off course, like, I guess that's my fault, but.
I mean, you were still swimming strong too, all the way to the end. So that's the disappointing thing is you weren't
it wasn't like I went from a 1:30 to a
right.
3 minute. It was like I stayed around 220 to 230 for 100 yards the entire time. I trained at that. I performed at that. Should have been within time.
Oh well.
I feel like I'm making an excuse. Like I should have stayed straighter. You know, should have followed somebody that's moving quicker. But it just is what it is.
But you know how when somebody throws something in the water and it's an attractant, and when Brenton jumped in the water, that might have pulled you off course just enough.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Maybe it came to me. Yeah, so I was like, you know, I'm walking the line, and then I'm like, come on, man, and I get the lean.
It was like slow motion.
Yeah, I get the lean, and I was like, oh man, and I chucked the camera and I just fall in.
Luckily, it wasn't very deep.
No,
He
I
was
stood right
way
up, I was
taller
like,
than that.
There you go.
It was comical because Dad was FaceTiming me, so I got to see it too. You really weren't helping him. I noticed that.
Well, I noticed he stood up right away, so he wasn't in danger.
I know, but you were not worried about his equipment or anything. I'm like,
Yeah, everything was safe. I saw everything was safe.
Camera's on land.
His
I was just worried
reaction
about
time
him.
was a little slow.
I was trying not to make a deal out of it and for everybody, you know. There's no big deal. Hey, guy in the water, it happens. Just stop looking. Ain't nothing to see here.
It is what it is. I hope I was just too slow in that GPS is lying, because that makes me feel better. I can improve on. Oh no, you're just slow. You're a bad swimmer. I can handle that, but just not having a clear course because holding that consistent pace puts me I mean that the 6 minutes checks out. Like with the pace I've trained at and what it says my splits are, and it's pretty accurate. When I've tracked it in the pool, everything. Paid like $700 to find out that I can't swim straight. People were telling me this was worse. I'm like, nah, man, I don't know. Maybe because it's unknown to me.
The only thing I would be worried about here, this part of Texas, east of I-35, is alligators.
Yeah.
Some got washed in.
And how you were trailing, there wasn't a lot of swimmers around you. That's
He's
prime
a
pickings
target.
for
He's a target.
a predator.
He's Pickens.
That's right. So, if at the pace I was at, I should have finished around an hour and 40 minutes, which is kind of what I was expecting. Would have been great, give me plenty of cushion on the bike. I would have been ahead of schedule. Perfect. But what I didn't account for was, you know, the tracking, I guess you call it, the side to side. And that was that. So, to say the least, it was frustrating to realize that. It's not that I was just slow. It was that I did 3.4 miles in the time they give you to do 2.4 miles, and I only missed it by 6 minutes. So, is what it is. But at the end of the day, it is still just an excuse.
Where are we at, dude?
We're raising canes for a little fried chicken.
Yeah, let me get that. Let me get the sign in there.
My dad offered canes or saltgrass, and I was like, I didn't earn saltgrass.
Dude.
I earned some heart disease, is what I earned. So, we're gonna run in here, get some delicious chicken fingers, some Texas toast, and whatnot, and be on our way.
There you go.
What I didn't account for in the Ironman training when I said, I can do it in a month. Well, what I realized is the physical aspect of itself, absolutely. I think any person whose lifestyle is very fitness oriented, that have a roundabout ability to swim, to bike, to run, and they have a little bit of grit about them, I think an Ironman is extremely doable in any amount of training time. It could be no time or it could be a year. Obviously your time's going to be affected, but if you have the ability to put out on race day, you're going to be able to get it. But what it comes down to with these endurance events is it's not all just about the physical aspect, right? Like in any race, there's other aspects like nutrition, right? There's elements, and there's the course. And so what I obviously, it shows I was lazy in one regard. I didn't take the time to properly understand exactly what marks I needed to make and how to swim that course, because having the ability to swim the course is one thing. Having the ability to swim the course accurately when you're out there in the open water with not a lot of buoys, that's another thing. So I spent so much more time and energy just kind of swimming around out there as opposed to swimming where I needed to go, that it ultimately cost me the race. So I'm not sad about it. I'm not mad about it. I don't blame Ironman for not putting out more markers. I don't blame the guys out there, the support, for not helping me stay on track. I gotta blame myself. Like, I should have talked to more people, listened to more videos about it, understood more what the target points were, which are the buoys. And so now I know it's a line-to-line situation where they have the couple of buoys out there. I don't need to worry about swimming just in that direction. I need to worry about swimming to it each time and passing it. And I think ultimately that would have made a lot of difference. But yeah, I mean, that's that. At the end of the day, I lost, I failed, I didn't make it. Not because I quit, not because I, passed out, couldn't finish, because I was just too weak or anything. I didn't make it because I didn't properly understand the mission at hand and what had to be done during the effort. And that's what cost me the race. So there will always be other races. Obviously, I'm not happy with not even getting to continue, but I can only blame myself in the grand scheme of things for not fully understanding what I had to do. So I hit a swim PR. That made me feel good at least. And out of all the ways to get disqualified, I feel like or DNF'd, that's one of the better ways to go out. It's not a lack of effort, it was just effort in the wrong way. But it's a learning experience. I have a better idea what to understand next time, because there will be a next time. And the next time that I do a triathlon like this, an Ironman, my goal isn't just to finish anymore. My goal is to get the best possible time that I will ever get in this lifetime. That's it. Because I understand now that it's very doable. Now it's going to see how much more is doable. I'm not out there to finish. I'm out there to give 110% the entire time, because I know how to understand the course better, and I know how to apply effort in a more accurate and efficient way. And that's the change I got to make going forward. It's not the training, it's not the time for training, it's how you actually go forward and apply that action. Because meaningless action is meaningless. But meaningful action is going to get you closer to where you want. So at the end of the day, I did show up, I did show out, and I was better than yesterday, just not in the way that I planned on being. But that's going to be it. That's my message for this is, there's no beauty in winning if there isn't pain and loss. And so you're never going to get anywhere if you're too afraid to lose, if you're too afraid to fail. And you're never going to get that feeling, that gratification of crossing the finish line if you're not willing to risk the other side of it. And I'm not mad at the results today. Like I said, I've only got myself to blame, nobody else. And I'm okay with it. I can live with that. It's a frustrating reason for not making it, but it just is what it is. All I know now is what can I do going forward. And I think I have a better idea on how to train now. I have a better idea on how to prepare for the races analytically as well as physically. And I also just have a better idea what to expect on a race day. I won't have as many nerves. I won't have any, feelings about it. I'll be able to just go out there and do what I do best. If you like the shirts, we've got the logo on the front officially, BTY, and on the back, better than yesterday. These are just kind of the prototypes. But if you like one, let me know in the comments. I will 100% give you a shirt for free. Let me know in the comments. DM me on Instagram, Real Braxton Harrison, or King.Brax, or on TikTok, any of the above. Let me know. I will hook you up with the shirt. And yeah, that's all. Go be better than yesterday.